Hey, it's Katherine from Brandequip Designs, and I am here talking to you today more about your purpose. And really what it is that we're talking about today is how we are aligning your business with your zone of genius. And in order to do that, we have to understand, what is your zone of genius? How does it align with your business? What the heck does it have to do with your purpose? I mean, really, there's so much we can uncover here. One, I've talked a lot about purpose already. You can come and see it on my website over at thebrandequip.com. Just go to the article section. You'll find all sorts of fun things there. And two, let's talk a little bit about the zone of genius thing, because it might not be a term you're familiar with. It might be a term you're very familiar with. I know that I've gotten it. Well, I first got it from Facebook groups. Face it, that's where we all love to hang out, right? I got it from Facebook groups, but I realized that it came from a book, so I decided to read that book because I was so in love with the ideas that people were talking about. And that book is The Big Leap by Gay Hendricks, excuse me, I always want to do that. And I would show it to you, but I bought it on Kindle, so I can't. Anyway, why are we talking about this? Well, let me preface this by saying I am all about building purpose-driven branding, and that purpose is inspired by you. It's inspired by what you want, what you value, and your own personal purpose with your business. Now, this purpose is not about, spending more time with your children or traveling the world or working from anywhere. I totally get it. I had the same kind of thing. Again, check out the blog. I talk about it there. But it is not about that. It is about, your brand purpose is about how you deliver value to your customers and why you enjoy doing that and why that's so important to you to do. And you see the difference there? One is more about you. The other is about the business and the people, because a business is in service, especially a service-based business, is of service to others, which means that you need your brand purpose to be value-based, value-driven, in providing value to those others that you want to provide services to. See what happens there? It's pretty basic. But the reason why it's becoming such a big thing is because technology is advancing. I'm just going to get a little bit big picture here. Technology is advancing, and it's allowing us. It's taking over those mindless jobs that we used to have to do, right? And that is giving us this opportunity to actually pursue work that has more meaning to us, that is more in line with our calling. And so we are suddenly not just looking for a job, we're looking for work that really means something, can really bring us joy, that we really inherently love to do and can do really well. And that's what we're all about, okay? I'm all about helping you build a business that is supporting you and helping you thrive, because thriving to me does not just mean making oodles of money. Thriving to me means being financially secure and loving the work that you do. Because if you don't love what you do, then why the heck are you doing it, right? And I know that I'm going to spout another book at you, but Conscious Capitalism, they talk about how meaning, happiness is derived by meaning. You cannot decide that you want to be happy. If you focus on trying to be happy, then you're never going to be there, because you're always looking at it from, well, I'm not happy now, I need to be happier. Whereas if you were to focus on, developing more meaning in your life, then happiness will follow. So awesome inspiration right there. Philosophy, totally read that book as well. But anyway, what we're talking about today is zone of genius branding, because essentially when I develop a purpose-driven brand, it's tied intrinsically to you being the client, obviously. Whether or not you actually are yet ever remains to be seen. Hope you are. We're not going to go there right now. I'm just going to focus on how I can help you right now, as we are in this kind of give and take relationship where I mostly just give, because I love to give. That's what I do. So back to the topic at hand. The Big Leap really differentiates between a zone of excellence versus a zone of genius, which is very important and not very often talked about. So a zone of excellence is something that it's a skill typically that you develop and you can do really well. And your zone of genius is more of an inherited tendency. It's like a natural talent. So I think that the best way to really describe this distinction is through a personal example. So let's get personal. For myself, I've always been really good at observing people. Like from an early age, I would be happy to just sit there and watch you. And people felt like I was judging them. Yeah, there was lots of feelings of judgment, and I reserve judgment. I mean, obviously, we all make initial impressions, but I would reserve judgment until I got to know you. But that didn't come across because I was just happy watching. I wasn't really contributing. I was just watching. I was observing life. But the thing about that is that I really learned a lot about people in general through doing that. I learned a lot about each individual person that I would really look at. And I started to see commonalities. I started to understand more about the driving feelings and desires and whatnot that would result in whatever action and whatever they were saying. And that is something that, I never trained for. It's just something I did. It's something I always have done. And it's something that I use now in my business through my brand strategies, which is all about digging into your purpose, really, really digging deep, understanding the core of who you are and of who your business is. It's essentially like, I want to help you uncover the soul of your business. And that soul is essentially a part of your soul. It is not you entirely. It's not your soul, but it is a portion of who you are. And I think it's beautiful, and I think it deserves honor and respect. And I think it's really important to do that. So when we talk about, your zone of genius brand in relation to your purpose brand, I'm talking about what is it that you always have done? What is it that makes you you? What is it about the work that you do? What can you bring to that work that you do that no one else does? Or maybe not many other people do. Or maybe it's that thing that makes you so well suited for this work. Like it lights you up. Because that's what I want for you. I want you to be lit up by the work that you're doing. I want you to build a business that absolutely serves every need. Your happiness, your purpose in life, your financial needs, and also being able to structure it in a way that serves your other needs. So, your time freedom needs, your ability to prioritize your family and your business and know where each falls and just know what it is that are the biggest priorities in your life and be able to create a life that is, structured around giving the most amount of your time and attention to your top priorities. So on the flip side, a zone of excellence is, like I said, about training. So like I in addition to being a religious observer of people and life, I've also just always had this artistic tendency. I've since honed that skill. So my zone of excellence is, you could say, is design in a way, but you can never really. I think that every designer needs to have that innate design talent and taste and artistic eye in order to truly be good at designing. So I honed my design skills. So I've always had a very artistic eye. I love painting. I've done plenty of work periodically throughout my life. And, it's something that you just kind of, you develop over time and you hone. Yes, that is, the zone of genius. But I developed a zone of excellence in the design industry through learning the programs through which I can deliver and explore my design ability, my artistic talents. And so the two of those are kind of one is, a zone of genius. The artistic eye is my zone of genius in a way. But my design talent, my design skill, the fact that I can use these programs, that is the zone of excellence. So I just want to make that clear that there is a difference. Your zone of genius is something that you hone. It's something that is a part of you. You cannot not have it. Your zone of excellence is something that you develop. It's something that you learn. It's something that you wouldn't be able to do without training. typically. So why am I talking about this? Like I said, I'm all about delivering purpose-driven branding. And I believe that when you get aligned with your zone of genius that is inspired by your purpose, and conversely, your purpose is inspired by your zone of genius. It's another chicken and the egg situation here. Like, what came first, the zone of genius or the purpose? A lot of times we struggle to discover either one on their own. We might discover our zone of genius through discovering our purpose, or we might discover our purpose through discovering our zone of genius. Doesn't really matter. The fact of the matter is that both will be contributing to the conversation. And so when I say that I'm building a purpose-driven brand, I'm also saying that I am helping you to develop your zone of genius business. And I find that this is really important to understand, because I believe that you are only limited by your fear. You have the potential to be so successful, and yet there's always going to be something that is holding you back, and oftentimes your mindset is a big aspect of that. And so if you can get over this fear, and fear is a big one for a lot of people, and it shows up in many different ways, but if you can get over that, then you can grow your business much more smoothly. And the way that I find it's really almost natural to not be afraid is to be confident in yourself. And how can you not be confident about what you absolutely love and you're absolutely passionate about? And that's why, I focus so much on you and what it is that you love to do and what it is that you really care about, because I want to help you build that confidence in yourself and in your sense of purpose, so that you can, move forth and deliver your message and share your message, and not be afraid of talking to people about it, and reaching larger and larger audiences, so that you can do more work and better work and help more people, and just continually build on that dream through pursuing something that you absolutely love doing. Okay, so we start with a dream, right? We start with this dream life that we want for ourselves, and we decide, okay, the way that I'm going to reach this dream is by starting my own business. A lot of times, well, if you're here, that's probably been your answer at some point. So maybe you dream spending time with your kids. For me, it was I wanted control in my life. I wanted to be able to build whatever I wanted. I wanted to create the life that I want for myself and not be held back by, the company that I'm working for, or the situation that I'm in, or the place that I'm living. And I just wanted that control. And that was my driving desire. That was essentially my dream for my business, for my life, is to have that ability again. And the way that I saw to achieve that was through starting a business. And yeah, I probably could have achieved that through staying in the corporate world, finding a better company to work for than what I had been in previously, and not having to go through all this startup strife, right? But that's not what I did. So here I am. So if your dream is time freedom, just being super general here, then your brand purpose is essentially going to help you achieve your dream. And your mission is how you achieve your brand purpose. So the way this works, okay, so my dream is, let's say, control over my life. My brand purpose is to help build thriving businesses, because building a thriving business helps, me achieve my dream, but it can also help my clients achieve their dream. Like, I want them to reach their dreams as well, and I can do that for them through helping them build a thriving business. Now, the way that I help in building a thriving business is my mission, and my mission is to equip your business with a brand. So I brand in order to build a thriving business for my clients and for myself, in order for us to achieve our dreams, whatever that dream may be. And so that line is a really important line to understand and recognize when you're talking about your purpose, when you're talking about your business, when you're talking about your goals. Because if you don't have that end goal, that end dream, essentially, then, why is it that you're doing this business in the first place? And then if you don't know why you're doing this business in the first place, then chances are you don't really have a purpose, a brand purpose. And if you don't have a brand purpose, then you don't have a brand mission. And it all backs out, because the way that we do it is it backs out and it becomes more and more specific. And so that's really how we develop a brand with a business that can thrive is through looking at your goals and deciding on what is, and understanding who you are and what it is that you bring to the table, and building that to really help you build that thriving business. Okay, so to recap, because I know this kind of got long, to recap, I just want to go over what I was saying in that your zone of genius is something that is innate within you. You may not realize it, and if you don't, then go to the blog. I do have a post about figuring out what your zone of genius is, and I honestly, I do it through my gut a lot of times, but there's a very easy question that you can ask yourself. It's actually 2 questions, it's 2-parter, that you can ask yourself that can help you understand better what your zone of genius is. And the reason why it's important to develop your zone of genius is because in order to build a thriving business and a life that you are totally in love with, you need to love the work that you're doing. And a part of that is doing the work that you are meant to do. And you have this opportunity because, you know, the small jobs that we used to all have to do are being taken care of by machines. So lucky us, let's take this opportunity and go further, go deeper, and really become better versions of ourselves. And so, you know, when we really focus on you and what you can do in your business, we're essentially aligning your business to who you are, to you, so that it feels really good to do. Because when it feels good and you feel passionate and confident about your purpose and what you can offer, then you won't be afraid of sharing that with the world. You won't be afraid of inviting people to work with you. You won't be afraid, well, less afraid, I should say, about, you know, just growing your audience and speaking to more and more people about this, because, you know, you can always go back to that inner confidence you have regarding the work that you do, and just your confidence in yourself. And like I said earlier, if you're not confident in yourself, then you'll be trapped by your fear, because you're only limited. Your success is really only limited by your fear. And so I want to help you build a business that you are not afraid to actually be in and develop and own and share. And that's what we're all about here. So I'll talk to you again later. Again, if you want to see or hear more of what I'm talking about, or learn about how we can work together, come over to my website at thebrandequip.com. I'm happy to be there and talk with you more about this stuff. You can also find me on Facebook and Instagram and all sorts of different places. So come to the website, you'll get links to where else you can find me right over there. So I'll see you guys later. Bye.